Hello folks, more great deals for you in this one. I'm starting off with electrics, moving on to plug-in hybrids, then we've got petrols and diesels and standard hybrids, and then we've got some commercial vehicles at the end. Massive thanks to ALA for sponsoring today's video. I'm using leasing.com for all of these deals. Please use my link to leasing.com before you visit the website. There's a link popping up on the screen for you, a QR code, so you can scan that with your phone if you're watching on your telly or something. And there's a link in the video description. You'll also find my link to ALA and that wonderful discount code. Right, the Ford Puma Gen E is still around. 218 quid a month, 233 miles of range. You know this one now. 655 up front, 218 a month. I cannot believe the deals are still around on this. I know they've shifted a lot of cars already, but if you want to get on it, I can only suggest you jump as quickly as possible because I can't believe it's going to be hanging around for too much longer. It's been incredibly popular, this deal, and it's only a matter of time before it goes away. GWM Aura 03, this is the one with a bigger battery, so you've got 261 miles of range, 219 quid a month, about £1,000 up front, including the fee, 8.2 seconds to 62, 228 litres of boot space in that one. Right, VW ID3, and I've got two flavours of it for you. This one is the one with the smaller battery, but it gives you 240 miles of range, which is quite decent on a car of this sort of size. 8.2 seconds to 62, 385 litres of boot space. You know what to expect from it, I'm sure. It's just a very good little sort of city hatchback, I suppose. You can comfortably accommodate 4 adults in there. It's got a decent sized boot, just under £1,000 in total up front and £260 a month. That's on a 3-year deal. On 10,000 miles a year. Of course, all these are on 10,000 miles. Some are 2 years, some are 3-year deals. So we've got that one. If you wanted the bigger battery, I think this one's actually better value. So you've got the Match Pro S, 350 miles of range, 8.2 seconds, 62 again, 290 quid. And then you're getting into sort of 1,100, 1,200 quid up front. But I think £290 a month, that's a lot of car for that much money. Folks, just a very quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks. Leap Motor C10 Estate, speaking of a lot of car for the money. I haven't driven one. I've heard they're not exceptional. But 827 quid up front, 275 a month for a big family SUV with 261 miles of range, 7.5 seconds to 62. 275 quid a month for that. It's not terrible, is it? It's a 3-year deal again. Of course, 10,000 miles a year. Let me shrink my head. I've made my head way too big. Renault Megane E-Tech hatchback is next. And this one is one to seriously think about because, again, it offers a lot for the money. 297 a month. You're looking at 1,200 quid up front, 280 miles of range, 7.5 seconds to 62. It's a really nice car to drive. Interior's a lot nicer than you might expect from a Renault. And it feels like a really well-sorted car. I think it won loads of awards when it came out, but I know you can take some of those with a pinch of salt, but, you know, by all accounts, it is a very good car. Vauxhall Grandland, the 73 kilowatt-hour automatic with the fixed roof, 323 miles of range in this, 9 seconds to 62, 550 litres of boot space, 20-inch alloys, about $1,250 up front and $318 a month gets you in one of those. That is a 2-year deal rather than a 3. But it still looks like reasonable value to me. And then if you quite like the idea of that Megane, but you want a bit more range and a bit more space, this one is a real winner. It's the Scenic E-Tech Estate, 329 quid a month with under 1,200 up front, 381 miles of range, 7.9 seconds to 62, 545 litres of boot space. I think it's a good looking car as well. It looks a bit, I don't know, bit masculine, bit chunky. But still like modern and nice. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. 329 quid a month with about 1,200 up front. Peugeot E5008 Estate. This is the Allure 73 kilowatt hour, 310 miles of range in this. Of course, this one's a 7-seater. I wish companies were doing more MPVs, like 7-seat, 8-seat MPVs. I don't know why they all disappeared. Maybe nobody bought them. But there we go. This is at least a 7-seat SUV, so you could get 7 people on board. 9.7 seconds to 62, 310 miles of range, 348 litres of boot space, but of course that's with all the seats up. So if you pop that back row down, you're going to have a cavernous space. At 1,300 quid up front, £368 a month on a 2-year deal. Now, I've got the Ioniq 6 here, but I'm showing you not the cheapest version. This one's the Ultimate, which is a really good place to be in a Hyundai. If you want to go for the premium, which is sort of a step down on the trim, you can save 24 quid a month on it. I just think this one is probably better value overall. So this one's about 1,500 quid up front, 393 a month, 339 miles of range, 7.4 seconds to 62. This will surprise a lot of people, but if you're coming out of something like an Audi or a BMW or a Mercedes, you're going to get in this car and you're not going to feel like some big jarring difference. This is a lovely, comfortable Grand Tourer that just floats along the road and is made for long journeys. 393 a month with about 1,500 up front on a 3-year deal. Genesis GV60 speaks for itself, and I've spoken about it a lot in the past. It's a phenomenal car, and this is an incredible price. You normally expect to pay $700-800 a month for one of these. 321 miles of range, 7.8 seconds to 62, 432 litres of boot space, built on the same platform as the Ioniq 5, the EV6, although this one's the smaller of the 3 cars. It's by far the most premium of the 3 cars as well. It's a beautiful thing. 1,550 up front and 401 a month on a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Once again, folks, it's not going to hang around forever. It's in stock. There's a new one around the corner, but it's a very, very mild facelift. So I'd be more than happy to still get one of these and not feel like I'm missing out, essentially. I would absolutely jump on that deal if I had the budget and the need at the moment. VW ID.7, it's the Match Pro 77 kilowatt hour. We're looking at 1,500 up front and 417 a month on a 3-year deal. 382 miles of range, which is massively impressive. 6.5 seconds to 62. 532 litres of boot space. It's a big, luxurious, comfortable, wonderful thing to drive. And I think that's delivering real value for money. It's big space, big range, lots of practicality. Makes sense. Polestar 4 Estate. This is the long range single motor plus. If you add about 30 quid a month to this, you can get the twin motor version, which absolutely unleashes hell when you press the accelerator pedal. This one's slightly more sensible. So you're looking at about 1,900 quid up front and 511 a month. 385 miles of range, 7.1 seconds to 62, 526 litres of boot space. It's very large, it's very comfortable, and it's very, very Polestar. That means it feels solid, it feels planted, and it's a beast. This car is a brute of a thing. It's a lovely car to drive. I've done a review on the channel of the spicy one, which says about 30-40 quid a month more than this one at the moment. But they both, I think, represent decent value for money. The spicy one we'll see off many a supercar, by the way. A Hyundai Ioniq 5N hatchback, speaking of seeing off supercars, 1,839 up front and 613 a month on a 2-year deal. 10,000 miles a year, 278 miles of range, 480 litres of boot space, 0-62 in 3.4 seconds. This thing is an absolute work of art. To drive it is to love it. It's phenomenal on the road. Like, incredible. Every time I've driven one of these, it's like I've come out of it feeling like a bit shaky because it just, I don't know, just filled with adrenaline. I just love it in every possible way. I want one. 1,839 up front, 613 a month. Gets you 2 years in one of these. If you want to watch me gush about that car more, go and watch one of my videos on it because you'll see plenty of that. Audi Q6 e-tron Estate. This one's the Performance 100 kilowatt hour Sport. About 2,200 up front, 642 a month, 391 miles of range, 6.7 seconds to 62, 526 litres of boot space. And I think you know what you're getting with a Q6. Big, luxurious, sort of no-nonsense SUV, really. Plenty of range in it. Big boot, comfortable for 5 adults. Can't really go too far wrong. if you've got the budget, of course. But it looks like decent value at the moment, around about 2,200 up front and 642 a month. Onto the plug-in hybrids, and we've got the MGHS plug-in hybrid, 294 quid a month, about 1,200 quid up front, 1,100 quid up front in actual fact. 705 mpg. Like, these mpg figures they give for plug-in hybrids are just daft, aren't they? 6.8 seconds to 62, 507 litres of boot space, really nice premium feeling interior, very, very well screwed together, and really a nice car to drive, like an exceptionally nice car to drive, especially for the budget. Lot of car for the money, as is this at the moment, the BYD Seal U. This is incredible value at the moment. The 1.5 DMI Boost, 8.9 seconds to 62, 425 litres of boot space, 19-inch alloys. You know, for most families, this will absolutely do the trick. I think if you got in one of these cars and someone covered the badge on the steering wheel and said, how much is this car to lease? You'd say 400 or 500 quid a month. It feels like a premium thing. £311 a month, folks, with 935 quid up front on a 3-year deal. That is not to be sniffed at. That one's in stock, by the way. And again, I think these deals are going to go very quickly. Also in stock is the Cupra Formentor. This one's the V2 with the automatic gearbox. You can get slightly cheaper for this than this if you go for a lower trim level. I think V2 is probably the sweet spot on the Cupra stuff. It's the 1.5 E hybrid, 3-year deal, 7.9 seconds to 62, 345 litres of boot space. Lovely car inside and out, actually. Got a bit of personality to it. All electric range is decent on these as well. I'm sure it's like in the order of 60 miles, 70 miles. Speaking of good all electric range, we've also got the new Passat plug-in hybrid. This one's in R-Line trim as well. So you're sort of getting up to top of the tree in terms of trim levels. 3-year deal on this one. About 1,500 up front and 392 a month. 7.1 seconds to 62, 510 litres of boot space. Again, the new Passat's just difficult to fault, really. It's just a very, very good car in just about every way. Mazda CX-60. I haven't driven one of these yet, I don't think. I could be wrong. Exclusive line. £404 a month with about 1,500 up front. 5.8 seconds to 62, 570 litres of boot space. Big, imposing SUV. You don't see a lot of them on the road, actually, and I think that's true of all the new Mazdas. They're a bit of an unsung hero. I think they should get a lot more love because they produce some very good cars and they're generally pretty reliable as well. 2.5 litre plug-in hybrid, 1,500 up front, 404 a month. Cupra Terramar, which I think is the best looking car in its class. Certainly the best looking of its VW Group siblings. £409 a month with about 1,600 up front. 10,000 miles a year, 3-year deal, 8.3 seconds to 62, 400 litres of boot space. And it's basically a more interesting Tiguan at the end of the day. That's all it is, but it is a more interesting Tiguan, and the Tiguan's the biggest selling car, I think, in VW Group history. Audi A5 Avant 2-litre TFSI 299 E-Quattro S-Line S-Tronic. 5.9 seconds to 62, 361 litres of boot space. Now, that sounds like a bit of a small boot for what is in old money, it would have been an A4 estate, but it's now an A5 Avant. But it's just because you haven't got underfloor space because of the batteries or next to no underfloor space. In reality, in practice, you look at that boot and it looks like a normal estate boot, but 361 litres. I just wouldn't be put off by that personally. 1,800 quid up front and 533 a month gets you into that. The VW multivan estate, still deals on this. We saw it last week. They're still around. 9 seconds to 62, 17-inch alloys, 562 a month with 1950 up front, in the order of 1950 up front, a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. In stock, I don't expect those to hang around. They were well over 800 quid for the longest period. They're currently 562. Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid. This is the ultra bright. Obviously, it's automatic, so it's a plug-in hybrid. 468 litres of boot space, 4.9 seconds to 62, and it's a beautiful thing. Very Volvo, you know, very sensible on the outside and inside really, but completely competent. But 4.9 seconds to 62 is not to be sniffed at. Decent sized boot, big chunky wheels, £616 a month with about 2,100 up front gets you into that. And then last, the plug-in hybrids, still deals on this Jeep Grand Cherokee. I've covered it a lot lately, so I'm not going to go over it again, but 2,300 up front and 658 a month gets you into that. Folks, if you're thinking about leasing yourselves a car, please head over to my sponsors, ALA Insurance. You can go to ala.co.uk, or you can scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the video description. Jump on there, you'll get to this screen. It's going to ask you what kind of gap insurance you want. And if you're leasing your car, you want personal contract hire stroke leased. We'll say I haven't got the car yet. It's up to 7 years old. Obviously, it's under 80,000 miles because it's going to be a brand new car that we're looking at. And I'll just show you a sneak peek of the next car. So we'll say Mazda 3 hatchback, 236 quid a month, that is. I'm going to guess it's about 25 grand to buy one. We don't know the registration number, but we're going to say it's a Mazda. See my quote. So I want 3 years cover on it. So I'm looking at a 3-year lease. I want up to £1,000 to cover my initial payment. And the monthly rental on it was £236. Level of cover up to £25,000. Excess contribution. So that's how much they'll pay you towards your actual car insurance excess if the car gets written off. 123 quid for 3 years cover. However, if we put the code GYM10 into this magic box, it saves us some more money. That makes it £117 for 3 years worth of cover. It's not a monthly price. It's not an annual price. That's 3 years of gap insurance on that car for 117 quid. Head on over to ALA. That code GYM10 works on all the products, I think, on the site. It'll save you 10% site-wide. ALA are incredible supporters of the channel, and I've personally got gap insurance on my cars with ALA. So go and check them out, folks. Massive thanks to ALA for sponsoring today's video. Let's have a look at that Mazda then. It's 2.5 litre eSky Active. It's a mild hybrid prime line. We're looking at £1,000 up front and 236 a month, 47 mpg, 9.5 seconds to 62, 334 litres of boot space. I said it earlier, but Mazda is a bit of an unsung hero of a car company. They make decent little cars, and I think that's good value at 236 quid a month. Jeep Avenger 1.2 Summit. This one's in stock. £1,000 up front, 251 a month, 49 mpg, 10.6 seconds to 62. It's a manual, 321 litres of boot space. Nice infotainment system in these, much better than you'll find in some of the Stellantis vehicles. And there's just something nice and funky and rugged about a Jeep, is there not? I've got a lot of time for that. Hyundai Kona hatchback. This is possibly one of the best value vehicles in the video. The Kona sort of does everything well. It doesn't exceed in any one thing, but it's just a good all-round car. 1,100 up front and 271 a month. The only place it sucks a little bit is the 0 to 62 time, 12 seconds. But it's not that kind of car, is it? It's a sort of sensible, everyday family car. 60 mpg, 466 litres of boot space. It's a really compelling package. You know, it's not going to cost you the earth to run. It's got a good amount of boot space. It's got decent passenger space. They're well equipped. It's got the automatic gearbox. £271 a month with 1,100-ish up front. Nissan Qashqai, we've pretty much always got a Qashqai in these videos. 843 a month, 281 a month for an end connector with the glass roof. One of the biggest selling cars in the UK, always good value. And today's no different. Link, of course, to leasing.com's in the video description. And that QR code you've probably seen popping up on the screen. Please scan that with your phone if you're watching on the telly. Please don't just go to the site. It really helps me if they know that I've sent you, and using that link or that QR code does exactly that. Citroen C5 Aircross hatchbacks, the 1.5 diesel max edition even. We've seen this one a bit lately. Nice, big, practical family car that you can get 3 car seats in on the back row. 286 a month with about 1,200 quid up front. A lot of car for the money, 45 mpg, 10.6 seconds to 62. and a ginormous boot. Peugeot 2008 estate is next. It's the 1.2 hybrid, but it's GT Premium with the automatic gearbox. You can get the entry-level manual for about $260 a month, somewhere around that. But I think this one offers bags more value for not that much more money. $288 a month with 864 up front. 51 mpg, 8.3 seconds to 62. 434 litres of boot space and $288 a month on a 3-year deal on that one. Vauxhall Grandland, 1.2 hybrid, 145 GS with the automatic. 50 mpg is claimed in this one, 10.2 seconds to 62. 550 litres of boot space. One of the newest Vauxhalls out, if not the newest. I don't know if this came before or after the Frontera. But they seem to be incredibly popular because I keep seeing them everywhere. 1,150 up front, 295 a month on that one, and that was a 2-year deal. Another Mazda for you. It's the CX-5, 933 up front and 311 a month. It's a 2-litre Sky Active mild hybrid centerline, 44 mpg, 10.6 seconds to 62, and 522 litres of boot space. Lots of sensible stuff so far, but there are a couple of spicier things coming up. The JQ7 is a ton of car for the money. This one's the petrol one. You can throw a bit more money at it and get the plug-in hybrid, which they call the super hybrid system. And I think you'd be wise to do that because that's an incredible system. It's very, very frugal. You seldom have to plug it in because it will sort of recharge itself and you'll still get really good MPG. If you've watched my Moda 9 video, it's the same system as is in that car and it's mightily impressive. The one thing with the petrols is they drink the fuel a little bit. So 38 mpg is nothing special, is it? But the engine and gearbox actually work really well in practice. A nice thing to drive. 10.3 seconds to 62, 580 litres of boot space, £328 a month with 1350 up front. VW T-Roc hatchbacks, the 1.5 TSI Black Edition Plus with the automatic gearbox. They're showing a picture of the outgoing model of T-Roc, and I'm guessing that might be the one you're looking at. But if you really want to hold out for the new version of the T-Roc, just have a word with the broker when you make your inquiry, because it might be that this is one of the new ones that's coming in, and they just haven't updated the picture on leasing.com. I think it's important you check that with the broker before you sign up for anything. 1,270 up front and 333 a month, 45 mpg, 8.4 seconds to 62. And 445 litres of boot space. Really decent little car. The T-Roc does everything pretty well. This is one of my favourite cars at the moment, the Mini Cooper. It's the S Classic. This new Mini is brilliant. Like, it just drives like a Mini should. It's bags and bags of fun. Wonderful thing. I much prefer the 3-door. When I had one in for review, it's the 5-door. But for me, a Mini should be a 3-door. 210 litres of boot space, 6.6 seconds to 62. 46 mpg, super premium inside these days, really nice materials. You've got this amazing round OLED infotainment screen, which is brilliant. It's just bags of fun. A grand up front, 338 a month. No admin fee on that one, which is really nice. And delivery within a month. So you're not going to be hanging around waiting for it for too long. Cupra Ateca 2-litre Eco TSI 190 V2 DSG 4-drive. So that's a 2-litre petrol automatic, essentially. 36 mpg, 7.2 seconds to 62, 485 litres of boot space. Brilliant engine in that. I love that 2-litre VW petrol, the one with 190 horsepower. There's also a 150 horsepower version of it. The 190 gets the nod from me because it's just exceptionally good. Loads of room for 4 adults in there and all their luggage and a nice bit of performance. Cupra Terramar hatchback. This is the 1.5 mild hybrid with the automatic gearbox. Again, we've gone for V2 specs. It makes sense on a Cupra, really. 47 mpg, 9.3 seconds to 62 and 540 litres of boot space. If you are happy to get the entry level, you could probably save 10-15 quid a month over that one, but I think it's worth going for the V2 and the automatic gearbox. Volkswagen Golf GTI, possibly your last chance to get yourself a petrol GTI. Who knows? 404 a month, with about 1,500 quid up front, 40 mpg, 5.9 seconds to 62, and 374 litres of boot space. That one's on a 3-year deal. And then if you want the spicier Golf, there's also the Golf R. It's the 4Motion DSG, 333 horsepower in that bad boy, 4.6 seconds to 62, 34 mpg and 341 litres of boot space. I haven't got any bigger petrol and diesel stuff at the moment because the deals are just not that phenomenal. Because at the moment, on the bigger stuff, the really good deals seem to be on the plug-in hybrids or the electric cars. And the petrol and diesel stuff, I don't know, just this week, there's not a great deal around, so I'm not going to show you stuff that I don't think is a good deal. Onto the vans. I think 3 of these are electric, folks, but the deals are phenomenal, so I've got to show them to you. 10,000 miles a year, 3-year deal on this, 687 up front and 229 a month. Don't forget, vans are going to be excluding VAT because they're essentially business contracts. Renault Kangoo L2 E-Tech Advance with the safety pack, and of course 186 miles of range, 11.6 seconds to 62. The battery technology and stuff in these is a little bit long in the tooth, so you're not going to get super fast charging. There's not a great deal of thermal management going on, but if you're mostly doing local stuff and you can charge from home, you can run this thing for the square root of bugger all. So it's a very nice little thing to drive. It's nice to get out of a van without being kind of shaking like a defecating whippet. And I actually really enjoy these to drive. VW ID Buzz Cargo, possibly the best driving van on the road at the moment because it drives like a car. 929 up front, 310 a month, 278 miles of range, 7.9 seconds to 62. You know enough about those already, I'm sure. Then we've got the Volkswagen Transporter T32. This is electric as well. This is a 2-year deal on this one, 201 miles of range, which is not exactly setting any records. But again, if you're mainly local, that's probably plenty for you. 8.6 seconds to 62. You're looking at about 1,100 quid up front and 311 a month to get into one of those. Then we've got Diesel Transit. I always put one of these in here just because it's kind of the measuring stick, the yardstick, if you like, for commercial vehicles, I think. Grand up front, 338 a month. Gets you an L2 diesel 320 custom. So 2-litre Eco Blue with 136 PS of power. 14.5 seconds to 62, 39 mpg on that one. And then finally, I've got the Land Rover Defender diesel for you. Obviously, it's the commercial version, so you've only got 2 seats in this. 497 a month with 1,500 up front. 33 mpg, 6.9 seconds to 62. Big 20-inch alloys on it. It's an imposing monster of a vehicle. And it's the D250, by the way, hardtop X Dynamic SE. So let's throw a few more things on there, shall we? Land Rover. Why not? But yeah, it's just a big, imposing, monstrous thing that I think you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching the video, folks. Please don't forget to subscribe. It's always great to see new subscribers coming to the channel. And something that really motivates me is a little thumbs up and a hype, which is a new thing on YouTube. That makes a big difference, apparently, so I'm told. So if you do see an option to hype this somewhere, please do. It's much appreciated. Please also go and check out my sponsors, ALA Insurance. Link in the video description for that and popping up on the screen. And you'll also find a link in the description and a QR code on the screen for you for leasing.com, of course, without whom none of this would be possible. Thanks again for watching, folks. I'll see you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.